Hello everyone, Chantal Brown here, and welcome to an exclusive interview with Kenya 7's rugby player, Kevin Wekesa. Now, if you're familiar with the Shujaa team, then you know him because he's one of those standout players. He's known for his strength, his speed, and how he brings it all on the pitch. I mean, from making his mark locally to representing Kenya on the global stage, Kevin's story has truly been inspiring to watch. Kevin Wekesa, welcome. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm feeling well. Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. Now, for someone who has never watched rugby, how would you introduce Kevin Wekesa off the pitch?
Uh, First, on the pitch, my name is Kevin Wekesa, Kenya rugby player, Kenya Sevens rugby player with the Shujaa team. Off the pitch, I'm a mechanical engineering graduate. I just graduated last year, and someone who uses my audience of rugby just to inspire change in the communities around me. So that's Kevin Wekesa outside the pitch.
Well, on the pitch, give me three words you would describe it to. Give me three words you'd use to describe your game right now.
For me, I'd say power, work rate, and consistency. That's how I describe my game. Yeah.
Well, let's take it back a little because we know that Kenya is a blessed nation when it comes on to sport. But when did rugby become your sport? Who gave you that real first push?
Rugby became my sport back in high school around 2015 when I was still in high school. I used to play football as a goalkeeper, but our school didn't used to perform well in football. So I also wanted to go away from the class and try something else in extracurricular activities. So around my third year in high school, I started rugby because I wasn't making it to the school team in football. So that's how I got my passion to start rugby. And the first real push was our team captain back in high school. Yes.
Well, that's interesting. Now, looking at some key moments, I want to touch on Paris 2024. You got called up for that Olympic team. Now, did anything change when it came on to preparing for that?
Yes, of course, going into Paris 2024, Olympics is always the pinnacle of sports, and every athlete wishes to participate in at least one Olympics. And for me, mine was Paris Olympics. And going into the Olympics, of course, we had to go into more precision training. We had to go into camps. I had to be ready to compete because we are only competing with the best of the best. So I had to be mentally and also physically prepared to battle with the teams at the Paris Olympics because it's just the best versus the best, and it's always every athlete's dream to play in the Olympics.
Now, another key moment I have to touch on is that Madrid promotion because we saw where Kenya beat Germany 33 to 15 to win back core status. Now, in that moment, describe to me when did you realize that victory was yours?
I think the Madrid moment, we were a very young team. We were just out of relegation. From the relegation team, we were only two players, I guess, me and Vincent Onyala. So heading into Madrid in the qualification match against Germany, there was a lot of pressure, of course. Everyone's watching. We wanted to get back to our core status in the HSBC circuit. Uh, First half, we went down a player. We got a yellow card in the first half, but I think we just kept our cool and stayed patient and trusted in our structure. Once we found the rhythm of it, we played our hearts out, and finally we won 33-15 and reclaimed our status in the core series. I think for me it was just maintaining our cool and playing our hearts out in that final.
Now, we were just speaking about key moments, and I'm pretty sure there will be a lot more to come. But when you picture the peak version of yourself as a player, what does that look like?
I think for me, the peak moment of me as a player is I wouldn't like put it just about rugby alone because I want to be that player inspired maybe the coming generations, or a player who's also through this sport tried to driven for change in our communities. I just don't want to be a player who was known to have played rugby maybe for 10, 15 years and gone as any other player would go in retirement and never been heard of. I just want to use my platform of rugby and outside rugby to push for change beyond just the sport. Yeah.
Well, walk me through game day, but just a specific part, because for me, and maybe you can tell me that I'm wrong, but I always feel like each player might have a certain ritual that they do to get their head in the game or prepare or just focus or lock in. So for you, do you have any special ritual? Is it probably a playlist? I don't know, a lucky sock? What do you have?
Yeah, of course, everyone has his own pre-match ritual. For me, I always have my snack in my bag and probably a banana or some fruit. Also, I have my game day playlist, which comes in handy. Just get my AirPods in when everyone is pressured or anything. I think the music calls me, and always come ready prepared for the game. I always try to prepare as much when we are back at the hotel before I reach the stadium, so that when I reach the stadium, there's really nothing much to do. So I just sit down, listen to music, take my snack, and wait for the warm up and prehabs.
Well, I'm going to be a bit nosy. What's on Kevin's Wekesa's playlist, game day playlist? Is it like upbeat music? Is it Afrobeats, Kenyan music? What do you have?
I think mine is a bit all genres. I'll start with maybe Afrobeats, a little bit of piano songs, and also come back to some Kenyan music, maybe probably Sauti Sol or Nyashinsky, who are one of fan favorites here in Kenya, and then maybe Afrobeats and piano just to get the mood in and the. I'm not a good dancer, but probably get some few moves thereabouts. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Now, looking at seasons, we know we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But for you, when you have a tough day because the results weren't in your favor or you felt like you could have given more and that didn't happen, how do you reset and bounce back from that?
I I think the utmost thing in games is always before you start to compete, you need to enjoy what you're doing. And for me, rugby is I always enjoy when I play. So, however bad it goes, it's always maybe we've not trusted our structures, we've not or we didn't follow the plan that we had hoped to achieve. And maybe when we have bad days, we just go back to probably our coach who would guide us to the things we didn't do right, and tell us how we should have handled the situation better in future games. And also just talking to each other. Sometimes teams are just better than you. It's not like all games you'll have to win, but sometimes teams are better than you, and you always go back to the drawing board and want to go more hard than you did before. And I think just that and talking to the teammates, keeping the morale high. That's what we do when things don't go our way.
Now, when you're not training and you're not on the pitch, what hobby actually recharges you? Where are you the happiest outside of the pitch?
Where I'm happiest also the pitch. I like to be with my friends. We try mostly different activities. Maybe I'll be bowling with my friends or just at a gun range trying to shoot or anything. I just like to do like physical activities outside rugby. So the most activities I do, I'd probably be bowling with my friends or at a gun range shooting, or if I'm alone, I'll just be at home playing the PlayStation and games.
Okay, well, that's fair. Now, you've gained recognition for Play Green with Kevin Wekesa. I know that you're big on environmental sustainability. Now, talk to me a little about that. What inspired you, and maybe tell me some recent achievements you've gotten with this campaign.
Uh, For me, play green, as I said, I just wanted to be more than just an athlete, to be an inspiration to the communities here in Kenya. So, countries like Kenya are mostly affected by climate change and with extreme conditions. So, for me, I just wanted to create a good environment for the coming generation of children who like to play sports and maybe don't have the ample conditions to play the sport. For me myself, I've been able to travel. I've traveled to countries where they've been like extremely hot conditions, maybe somewhere like Hong Kong or Singapore, where there's extremely high humidity and it's not a good place to play sports, or maybe Canada, where the temperatures are sub-zero and it's not also a good place to play sports. So I just wanted to create this awareness so that as we continue to live, we can take care of our environment and take control what we can control, and just have a clean environment for the future generations so that they can also enjoy ample conditions at their place. So with my play green, I've been focused on four main pillars, which have been tree planting, education on climate adaptation and awareness, uh, ending single-use plastic, and recycling within just the sports community, and using the sports community to inspire change. So that is just some of the things that I've been able to do with Playgreen. Also, with Playgreen so far, I've gone to almost 30, 40 schools here in Kenya just to to teach mostly pupils and students on the importance of climate change. I've also been able to try to eliminate single-use plastic within the national team, by issuing them with reusable plastic bottles, just to in a move to curb plastic in within the Kenyan rugby ecosystem. And also, I've been able to advocate for recycling of not just plastic waste in stadiums or anything, but everything, including kids, boots. Because for me, like a pro player, I'd use a boot for probably a month and leave it, but it's still good to be used, so I can pass it down to educate people and keep the circular economy going, and just increasing its cradle to death lifespan of the kids I use. And finally, I've also been planting trees. So far, I think I'm at about 2,500 trees planted. So that's basically all about Play Green. As I Play Green, I've also been able to be recognized. I was a nominee for the Sports Positive Award. I didn't win, but at least uh, I got the recognition of something that I'm doing. I was with the Positive Awards.
Definitely, and recognition is exactly what we want. And 2,500 trees, that's very impressive. And I'm pretty sure that you probably have a bigger goal that you're trying to reach. Now, for the Kenya Sevens Shujaa team, tell me, what's one unique culture about this team that outsiders like myself would probably miss?
I think one unique thing is we play to enjoy. For the Kenya Shujaa team, with the dance plays they do in stadiums, and they celebrate their tribes. They're just there for the enjoyment, because we all come from different backgrounds, and with us, where the national flag and the rugby team brings us together, and I think it's a unifying factor for all of us. It just gives that sense of I'm not alone here. Whatever where I am from, or where I've been raised to, it all comes down to this. We are all fighting for one thing. We are all representing the nation, and I think that just gives pride in wearing the jersey. And we all do it for the flag, and it's every kid's dream in Kenya to represent the flag. Yeah.
No, as I mentioned earlier, is that Kenya is a blessed nation when it comes on to sports. We've seen Kenya dominating different disciplines as well. But what does rugby mean in Kenya today, in schools, community, and even in the national conversation?
I think sports in general, it's becoming a conversation here in Kenya, because uh, One, it can be it can bring income to people. So it's not always as regular parents will like maybe their children just to go to school, have degrees, work in an office. I think for me, sports breaks the ice in that, and it can raise families. It can bring income to the table to these players. And right now, Kenya is also investing in grassroots so that most children can get this sports at an early stage, and they can decide on if to pursue it or if not to pursue it. And with the ongoing discussions, I think Kenya want to take the sports pro, and with taking the sports pro, it also creates a lot of opportunities for people in terms of job employment. Because it's not just the players, there's the analysts, there's the coaches, there's those people who take care of the stadiums, there's the engineers building the stadiums, and it's just a whole economy of sports. And I think that's what rugby for me means, and what it means for Kenya right now and those children in grassroots.
Now, if you were in charge, what changes would you make to accelerate Kenya's progress when it comes on to rugby?
For me, I'd invest more in grassroots because that's where we as Kenya lack. We need more strong development pathways so that we can always have that streamline of players from, let's say, under five to the seniors. And secondly, I'd improve the structure in terms of just player welfare, in terms of sustainability of the sports, both physically and financially. Because when players are supported, performance always follows. I think that's what I'll do if I was in charge of accelerating Kenya rugby. Yeah.
Now, we're seeing a new format for the HSBC Sevens now, and we're also seeing a rise of invitational events as well. From a player's point of view, are these the type of changes you'd say that would make rugby on a whole grow?
From a player's point of view, I think the reduction of teams to eight. I wouldn't say it's the best of the best because it's the best of the best decisions, but I think they are looking at making rugby sevens more sustainable by itself. And for me, I don't think I thought 12 was better, but with the reduction to eight teams, it will most definitely be interesting with the new rules. And but in terms of these smaller nations, tier two and tier three nations, I don't think they were put into the conversation as much because this limits to only the best of the best. And in games like sevens, it's always about Goliath versus David. And when David beats Goliath in such instances, it's when the game even gets more fun. So for me, I don't think the new structure sits well with me, but it's already been implemented. So we'll have to go with it, and Kenya will probably have to fight for that promotion from sevens two to sevens one. There's also the development of the invitational tournaments like the one in India. I think that's also another strategy to get new fans into the game. It's making the game more interesting because the traditional rugby sevens will be maybe 8, 10 hours of rugby, but with the invitational tournaments, at least it may be 2 hours of intense rugby. And with rugby sevens, like every 1 minute, an action is happening. And I think it's just good to bring the new fans on board. And with those invitational tournaments and best versus best playing, it's bringing more fans and growing the game more further. Yeah.
Now, I want to touch on the Safari Sevens, actually. What do you hope to leave on the turf this season?
Yeah, Safari Sevens is special. It's our home tournament. It happened this weekend. Of course, it's the pride of Kenya. It's Africa's premier, I'll say premier tournament. We won Safari Sevens this year. It was a really good tournament. Our families showed up, our friends showed up, and I think we just played for the jersey. We had a final with Shogun, which was basically Spain's national team, but I think it just showed. what we've been working on for the preseason, and going into the season, we used it as a preseason tournament. And from us winning the tournament, I think we are on a good trajectory. Of course, we've got more work to work on, but I think with the Safari Sevens this year, it was a good turnout from the fans. It was a good tournament, and for me, from a preparations point of view, I think we are on a good trajectory as Kenya Sevens.
Now, I might be putting you on the spot just a little because I've seen mixed reactions when it comes on to the Safari Sevens because, yes, it's the pride of Kenya and it happened at home and it's a big event. But I've seen where Kenyans have said that it might be losing its momentum. Is this something that you agree with or you disagree
No, it
100%?
is. No, I don't think. I don't. Of course, Safari Sevens has had its ups and downs. For example, last year the Safari Sevens went out of Nairobi. It went to Machakos, a whole new county that didn't have like a back route in rugby. But I think I think the passion is still there. I think with the right organization and community support, it can be the heartbeat of African rugby again. And Safari Sevens, as I've told you, is Africa's premier tournament. I think they also need to check maybe on the dates because we need to get more teams, more competitive teams coming in Safari Sevens with the timing that Safari Sevens is usually placed, because most of the teams are usually on their first days of preseason, so it's difficult to participate in Safari Sevens. But I think like this year with 12 international teams coming to participate, and the quality of rugby was at top notch. I don't think Safari Sevens has lost its meaning with the fans, because I think the passion is still there. And maybe in 2 years, 3 years from now, in even next year, it will be something good, because after COVID-19 happened, it initially went down, but right now it's on an upward trajectory, and the fans want to see their boys play at home, because they usually see them on TV, but right now it's an opportunity for them to see their boys play at home. And for me, I don't think it's losing its momentum over the years. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your input on that one. Now, before we wrap up, I want to play a quick game. Now, you only have
Okay.
5 seconds to think and respond. So I guess 2.5 seconds when you split it half and half. And you have to give me the first response that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Okay. Okay.
Toughest ground to play at?
Cape Town.
Teammate who makes you better in training?
John Okoth.
Favorite player that you idolized growing up?
William Barker.
Favorite Kenyan dish post tournament?
Ugali and nyama choma.
3 words your teammates would use to describe you.
I'd say reliable, strong, focused. Yeah, I guess.
Now, on the team bus, so who would be the last person who enters? You have to call them out.
Nigel Amaitsa.
Hidden talents that fans wouldn't know about you.
I can do a backflip. Yeah, I think I'm acrobatic. Even though I'm big in size. Flip. Yeah, I think I'm acrobatic. Even though I'm big in size.
One item you never travel without.
I think my reusable water bottle. I'll travel it everywhere with it. Always on my backpack.
Now, you mentioned having your snacks pre-game, but what's the most clutch snacks that you have before a game?
Bananas.
Just bananas. Okay. Dream
Yeah, I think
Sevens
that's
player.
more instant energy.
Dream
Pardon?
Sevens player. Any era you'd love to play alongside.
Uh, Probably Sonny Bill Williams.
Most used word in the Shujaa group chat.
Tomzi. It's a slang for mzito or something like that. Yeah.
Wait, go again with that word.
Tomzi. It's slang. It's Kenyan slang for mzito. Like I'll call someone like when ni Tomzi wangu. Like it means you are my go-to person. You are my man, or not
Ah.
man like in a relationship, but yeah, you're my guy. Yeah.
And the last one Kenyan song every locker room needs.
I think maybe Susanna by Sauti Sol.
Well, I think we did more than 5 seconds to answer those. But that was the
Yes.
but that was the last one. Thank you so much, Kevin, for joining me today and speaking to me about your journey, your season, and just sharing more about you.
Thank you. Nice you having me. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.